Celebrate. They have done it.
Hi everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. No ranting, it's just a thought, and it's all about to the left, as old Beyonce would say. I say old Beyonce, she's probably younger than me still, to be fair. Looks a shade side better as well, even though I've got a new haircut. Thank you very much. But yeah, going back to the left side of Newcastle United's pitch. This was an area where previously we were complaining and whinging and moaning when Anthony Gordon got a silly red card and he was suspended for massive games, including the Carabao Cup final. But step forward, almost a forgotten man, a man who's divided opinion this season, a man who some people have written off. And I think we might owe this man an apology right now. Who am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Newcastle United's number 11, Harvey Barnes. Now, just rewinding back a bit, when we signed Harvey Barnes, it was about 38 million quid from relegated Leicester City, who we play this coming Monday, Harvey Barnes' old team. And Harvey Barnes was always a decent player. You can see he was a goal threat. He scored loads of goals. I think he got a better Premier League goal scoring record than Marcus Rashford, I think, to be fair, and assists as well. So Harvey Barnes was always a player who could cut inside, strike the ball really well, kind of run to the box, catch on a through ball and finish with a plum. And when we signed him, we were really excited. He had a really class pre-season, scored goals, set up goals as well. And then the problem that we had was Harvey Barnes played on the same side of the pitch as Anthony Gordon, who also had a brilliant pre-season and went on to have a brilliant season. So Barnes was in and out of the team. We all wanted to see maybe Barnes shift over to the right or Gordon shift over to the right, try and get these two in the team. And we're still thinking about how the hell we'll do this now. And we can't seem to do it. Jacob Murphy's picked up a really nice run of form on the right-hand side and give us that balance, that we were lacking when we were trying to shoehorn Barnes and Gordon into the same team. But since Gordon's suspension, Barnes has come in and he's had some excellent games. He got an assist against West Ham, then he scored a few goals as well, played excellent in the cup final, nearly got a goal as well, looked dangerous, looked lively. Against Brentford there the other night, he had 7 shots. Screamed at Alexander Isak for not squaring it early. He would have scored a goal. I think a goal is coming for Barnes, and he's just looking a lot sharper, fresher. He looks physically fitter than he has done for weeks now. And we've seen flashes of brilliance from Harvey Barnes. If you think about the goals against Luton Town, the goals against West Ham, the rocket against Wolves, I think Mark had in the intro video. We've seen these moments from Harvey Barnes where he's a game changer. At times, he can just pull you out the shit with something special. And we don't have a lot of players like that in the squad, really. Yes, Alexander Isak is the man, and Gordon can pop up now and again, but Gordon can be a little bit inconsistent with that play. Barnes seems to always get a chance. He's always one of those players that seems to be arriving in the right place, right time, and he's such a good finisher. I almost wish that Barnes could be kind of converted into a Frank Lampard style number 8 player, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But looking at the way Harvey Barnes has played for this football club, we're going to get into the stats in a minute, because the big question is, what do you do now Anthony Gordon's back? Do you keep Barnes in the team, or do you bring Gordon straight back in? I'll tell you my answer in a minute. And obviously we will be doing the preview video for Leicester separately, but I'll give you my answer on that in a minute. But just looking at Harvey Barnes' statistics since he's been in Newcastle United. So he's been here a couple of seasons now, 54 appearances or a season and a half, 54 appearances, 10 goals and 6 assists. So he's getting a goal kind of every 5.5 games, which is pretty good for a winger on all accounts. And he's getting an assist there, every kind of 4.8 games or something like that. So he's actually doing well when he's on the pitch. There's no doubt about it at all. And this season, 24 appearances, 5 goals and 3 assists. He's still our second highest goal scorer behind Alexander Isak, because we don't have a lot of goals in the team, outside of Alexander Isak. And if Alexander Isak's having an off day, yes, I know Sandro Tonali took the net out of the ground at St James's Park on Wednesday night, but we don't have a lot of goal threats in and amongst the team. Those midfield 3 don't score a lot of goals. Gordon chips in with a few goals, but not loads. Murphy can pop up with the odd one, but again, he's inconsistent with his play. Burn only got that 1 goal from the header. Corners were not great at scoring from corners, or set pieces in general. So I think we need somebody else in the team that can get goals. And Harvey Barnes definitely is probably the best finisher on the pitch next to Alexander Isak. But looking at some of his stats, as Mark will pull up here on the old super duper computer, and trying to compare him to Gordon, you can see the differences in players. because I would say Gordon can be a bit more of an old-fashioned winger, getting chalk on the boots, taking somebody to the byline and getting across, taking players on. Barnes isn't really that kind of player. He tucks inside a lot, but you can see his stats there. So his goal stats as non-penalty goals. He's up in the 87th percentile, so 0.41 per 90 minutes. His non-penalty XG is up in the 82nd percentile. Shots, he takes about 3 shots a game, so he's in the 88th percentile. Assists, he's at 0.27 per 90 minutes over the last 12 months, so he's at 74th percentile. And you see his expected assists, he's up there in the 82nd percentile. Looking at some of his good stats there, his pass completion is pretty good. He uses the ball well, 77.8%. Progressive carries, 77%, so he can run with the ball as well. Progressive passing, he's around about 68th percentile. Touches, he's very good with the ball when he uses it well, when he gets it. He's got good control, good close control, 89th percentile. Interceptions is a good one for Barnes here. He's right up in the 77th percentile, so he's quite high. But look at some of the stuff he's not so good at. His pass attempts are a bit low. He's in the 26th percentile. His successful take-ons, and we'll get into this in a second, the main difference between him and Anthony Gordon, he's on the 21st percentile. So remember that. We'll get into Gordon in a second. But his tackles are quite low and his blocks are quite low. But clearances are half there and aerials are kind of just below half as well. But he really has improved his defensive work in the last few games, as Barnes. I think he's really taken on board what Eddie Howe has told him. But look at Anthony Gordon's stats in comparison. So a lot of the kind of assists and goals are a little bit similar. His goals are a little bit down over the last 12 months because Barnes is more of a goal scorer, there's no doubt about that at all. But his assists are quite high in the 81st percentile. As you can see, their shot creation actions in the 80th percentile. Doesn't take as many shots as Barnes does. His passes attempted are slightly higher, but his pass completion is a bit lower than Barnes as well. But his progressive carries and successful take-ons, you can see they're a lot higher than Barnes. So he does, take people on a lot more. He tackles a bit more as well than Barnes does too, with the interceptions slightly higher and the blocks slightly higher as well. But the aerials maybe not as good and the clearances aren't as good as Harvey Barnes. So it's very hard to split the two of them, but they are very, very different footballers. There's no doubt about that. Barnes, I would say, is somebody who can cut inside and get a goal, or arrive in the box and get a goal, whereas Gordon's somebody who maybe create a goal from out wide. Yes, he can play on that shoulder, use that pace and get beyond the last defender and get a goal as well. And he has got better at that over the last kind of couple of years. But I'd love to find a way to get these two into the team. There's no doubt about it. But right now, in my opinion, excuse me, my cough's coming back. Right now, in my opinion, I would have Harvey Barnes starting against Leicester on Monday night. I think he deserves that chance. I think Gordon's just back in the side. He's got that bruising on his hip as well. So I don't even know if Eddie Howe will even have him on the bench. I don't think Gordon walks straight back into this team the way Barnes has been playing. It would be really unfair to kick Barnes out of the team. And Barnes is that player that needs a run of games. We've said that before. He needs 3, 4, 5 games just to find this rhythm. And you can see that now. He's had those 3 games and the rhythm's coming back. Very unlucky not to get a goal against Brentford last time out. I can see him getting a goal against Leicester on Monday because he's due one. And what better place to get it than your old stomping ground? I don't think he'll celebrate either because he seems to be quite a decent guy, does Barnes. But I'd love to find a way to get these two into the same team. But Gordon seems to shrink when he goes on the right-hand side. Doesn't like to play there. Yes, he got that one brilliant cross for Isak's header against Arsenal. But outside of that, he doesn't seem to want to play there. I don't think we want to change the formation just to incorporate these two players in there, but that's up to Eddie Howe. That's why he gets paid what he gets paid, to try and figure out a way to get these two into his team and get it working. Because yes, we need this right winger in the summer to give you that extra balance, to improve on the quality that Jacob Murphy's giving you. And that sounds harsh because Jacob Murphy's, I think he's about the 4th or 5th highest assist maker in the Premier League this season. He's had a phenomenal season, but Murphy can be inconsistent. There's no doubt about it. And I still think we need a level up on that side of the pitch. No disrespect to Jacob Murphy. I think he's a great squad player. And I think he could come in and out and make massive impacts in games and winners games and set up goals and score goals. But, if you can get something like a Brian Mbeumo out there, that takes us up that next level of quality for that front three. But it's very interesting to see what Eddie Howe is going to do now Gordon is back with Harvey Barnes. But I do think a lot of us owe him an apology. I think a lot of us writ him off maybe a little bit prematurely. There's an excellent footballer in there. There's no doubt. You don't get as many goals in the Premier League, as many assists in the Premier League as Harvey Barnes has got in his career, unless you're a talented footballer. And we're starting to see exactly why we signed him in the first place. And long may that continue, because we're going to need Barnes to do what he does, get goals and get assists, win his games, get us enough points to get the Champions League at the end of the season. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about Barnes. Would you drop him for Gordon straight away? Is Gordon the best fit of the two of them? Would you like to see a way for them both to get into the team? And how would you do it? How would you fix it? How would you change the formation or the dynamic to get Barnes and Gordon into the same team as Alexander Isak and just give us more of a goal threat and more of an assist threat than we would have without him being in there. Or is that harsh to Jacob Murphy? So many different questions when you ask that one question, but we always like to hear from you. Drop a comment in. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Help the channel grow. Keep it evermore. We will be back with some more content soon. Have a bell there. We'll see you later. Cheers.